How many drugs were you taking per day inside the hospital?
I was in the morning, in lunchtime, and evening time. But I did occasionally just go back and say, "Give me the pink one that makes my." There was like Zopiclone to make us sleep. There was another one that was like to sort of stop you getting stressed or something. I don't know. I just took anything. By that point, I didn't care. I just wanted to get to sleep because I suffer from insomnia anyway, so that doesn't really help when you're a bit depressed.
Your boyfriend was one of the signatories on the sectioning order.
Mm-hmm.
We should just explain, by the way, if you're just joining us, that the laughter you hear from Gail is a nervous
nervous laughter.
It's a nervous laughter, so
You've
she's
been
not
sectioned
laughing
by
at
your
what I'm saying.
boyfriend. It's just, when you say it out loud,
Yeah.
it does sound bonkers.
How were your feelings towards him after? Because you've been together 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I was extremely angry, and I knew better than everybody else. It should have been it should have been handled in a different way. But of course, he was put in a position. I put him in a position. I put a lot of people in a difficult position, and they did what they thought was the best thing. So, yeah, I've been grumpy and angry and shouted and screamed, and we've talked about it. And he did what he thought was the best thing. So, yeah. And, in a good way, I spoke to him just briefly just now, and he said, it is good that you're being honest, and it is going to, for all the, the pain that you might have gone through, it's helping other people. So, we're not alone. And it does happen a lot, and it would be great if, there was so many amazing staff that were working in there, but they just don't have the facilities to do anything. You're just contained in a room, and the only fresh air you got was the smoking terrace, so it wasn't really fresh. And there was a couple of Jesuses in my ward as well, and a naked man occasionally would come in, but he got put to his room.
These are all patients.
Yeah. Jesus, 2 Jesuses. Yep.
I mean, he would, your boyfriend would only have done that out of love.
Yeah. I mean, now I know that, but at the time I was just really, really angry. And, I don't have family down here, and Johnny and his family are kind of the closest thing I have.
So in the 17 days that you were detained in a locked facility, how many times were you visited by a doctor?
In total, I saw 3 in 17 days. It was literally minutes. You'd all queue up. Everyone would queue up and see them. And you could get family members to come if you wanted, but I didn't really want anyone to know where I was. It's not really the sort of thing you pop on a postcard, is it?
No. Although you did inform your ex-husband that the father of your child.
Yeah, Dan was brilliant, and his wife, they both came to visit me, and they were really distressed. She was really upset about
And what did they tell your daughter?
We've been as honest as possible as you can be with an 8-year-old, and just said, Mummy's been. She knows that I don't sleep, obviously, because I'm up and down all the time. So we just sort of said that Mummy gets a bit sad sometimes, and it's an illness, and we're trying to get better. So it was awful. That was the worst part, was being apart from my daughter. So, but I don't know. I actually don't know what the benefit was at all. I remember coming out after 17 days, going, I have no idea what that was supposed to have done for me there. Yeah.
Well, I suppose that the health professionals would say it's to protect you from yourself.
Yeah, they did say that, but I was actually more distressed being in there than I ever felt when I was out. So
because you sent a text saying, I feel suicidal. You've
yeah.
said to me in this interview you would never have actually taken your life, but they don't know that.
Well, no, exactly. So I've put a lot of people in a very difficult situation, because I'm trying to explain how down I am, and I've written it in a rubbish way, and then everyone panics. And I was pretty frail at the time, and who knows.